let me start with a simple observation. Even those of you who don't work in finance, chances are your money does. Through pension funds, insurance policies, saving plans, you indirectly invest in alternative assets via funds. Alternative assets have been invested for years by institutional investors. What has changed recently is it is no longer the reserve of the institutional investors. As a result of regulations, in particular LTIF 1, the European Long-Term Investment Fund, the doors are now opening up to a broader universe of investors. What are alternative assets? There are four main classes: real estate, logistics centers, commercial properties, infrastructure, telecoms, motorways, ports, private equity, typically investments in operating companies, private credit, lending outside the banking system. We already heard quite a lot about private credit. What do these four asset classes have in common? They are long-term and they are liquid. They are not designed to be invested, buy and sell in a day. They are there for you to hold for a period of time and to support the real economy. Why are we investing via funds? It's pretty unlikely that you can afford or even want to hold a motorway directly or a port or create your own diversified portfolio. That's what funds allow you to do. They pool the capital, they spread risk, they allow you to access a diversified portfolio, and most importantly, of course, you receive returns in the form of income and capital growth. But there's, of course, as always, a catch. Anything that reduces your returns, such as complexity, inefficiency, operating costs, tax leakage, matters enormously. And that's why fund structuring is so essential and complex. Why is fund structuring complicated? Imagine you start with a blank sheet of paper and you're now asked to create a fund. Well, a couple of issues there. You don't really know who your future investors are. Typically, it's a blind pool. You don't know where they're coming from, and you don't know their profile. What are their legal, tax, regulatory requirements? At the same time, tax regimes differ country by country, very fragmented. Regulatory regimes are also nation-based. The EU is trying hard to harmonize regulations and create a level playing field, but we're not there yet. And, as mentioned before, your investors have different profiles. So it's very much a balancing act. Your fund structure needs to be efficient, compliant, practical, commercially viable. So in a nutshell, there is no one-size-fits-all. I think you can very well compare this with a tailor-made suit. You need to have a design, you need to choose the material, you need to choose the cut. You need to take measurements, you need to adjust, and you need to refine. And only when the suit fits can it be worn. And the same applies to funds. They need to suit your investor needs, not the other way around. So why Luxembourg? It's all about location, location, location. A key choice you have to make as a manager is where to domicile your fund. And Luxembourg offers quite a few attractive elements. First of all, legal regulatory certainty, political and judicial stability, a deep operating ecosystem, and significant experience with cross-border investments over decades. But also, not to forget, it has a very, very large funds toolbox, which allows managers to create bespoke funds. So what are some of these elements? The multiple legal forms, corporates, partnerships, regulated, unregulated vehicles, a huge range of different types of vehicles, feeder funds, parallel funds, co-investments in Luxembourg, different countries, all designed to meet your investors' needs, who are typically coming from many different jurisdictions. The toolbox is a live organ. it is not a piece in a museum. You constantly have to update because nothing remains the same. Everything changes all the time. Tax regimes, regulatory regimes, and the market. So Luxembourg is continuously amending, reviewing, revisiting, enhancing the toolbox to anticipate future needs of private capital. So 3 takeaways for those in the non-finance area. First of all, your money is invested in alternative assets. The funds act as a bridge between savings and investments, and Luxembourg is the place to design such bridges. For those working in the finance industry, alternative bespoke rules is the trend. The choice of the domicile is key to address investor diversity and regulatory and tax changes. And Luxembourg provides efficiency, security, stability. So whether you're an investor or a saver or just curious about where your money goes, Luxembourg is where East meets West, where long-term investment meets long-term innovation. Thank you.